Hello and welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Almara coming to you with a very late miracle number 76 in the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project. Let's begin by taking a big, long, slow, deep breath in and out through the mouth, or a soft, gentle one. The trick is to focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, and letting go of everything outside this moment. So, big day for me. It's 11 p.m. and I'm just getting your miracle done now. My day has been flying since 4 a.m. this morning. I had promised yesterday that I would do a God blast, but I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'll be awake for the next 3 hours. Because I did one last night and that's what happened. So I didn't really get to sleep till about 2 o'clock, and then I was awake at about 4:30, and I've been awake ever since. But I do have a wonderful miracle to share with you today, and it just proves that sometimes when you surrender, what you need comes to you. So I may or may not have mentioned, and certainly some people who know me well know, that I have been looking for somewhere to live for a year. Come the end, I was given notice on the 28th of February last year, which is in a couple of days' time. I looked madly for 2 months, couldn't find anything. Had a tiff with my landlord at the time it happened, but she was gracious in extending it for another 3 months because they couldn't sell their property in Sydney and they want to renovate this and do some other things here in the property I am, and that's why they wanted me to vacate. When July came, I still hadn't found anywhere else to live. And I still hadn't found anywhere else to live. But what I noticed was that I had heaps and heaps and heaps of people were sending me messages going, did you see this? Did you see this granny flat? Did you see this? Did you see that? Etc., etc. And so in that second 3 month one, I just ran around madly all of July trying to find somewhere and still couldn't. And then at the end of it, was told by my landlord, look, we're still having trouble with our property in Sydney. We'll just extend it for another couple of months and see how we are. And those couple of months came and went. And then she just said to me, what about if we just make it a month-to-month lease? So then I'll just give you some notice, give you a month's notice when I need you to be gone. And so I stopped running around madly like a chook with its head cut off. It's an expression we say here in Australia. And I would check out all the ones that came, but invariably everybody was like, no, you can't bring your cats. People in this area have a thing about cats. There is a lot of wildlife here, but every time a bloody bird dies or a chicken goes missing, it's a cat's fault. And we have massive, massive pythons here. Like I'm talking, some of them are, 10, 12 foot long, and they're blooming 4 inches across their belly and more, 5 inches across their belly. But it's still, and you can see in the snake this great big mound where it's eaten a blooming chicken. So I started making fun of everybody when someone would go, oh, and I go, oh, some poor cat's going to get blamed for that. Because they're always blaming cats for it, so. And pythons love to eat cats as well. And foxes eat the chickens, and foxes eat birds. Everybody else kills wildlife, but it's the cat's fault when it all goes missing. Anyway, so in December, my beautiful landlord says to me, Al, can I give you 2 months' notice to be gone by the end of February? And I said, at the end of December, I think she mentioned it. I said, yeah, look, that's fine. I'm sure I'll find something. And so because of what's been happening, I have just been, and I kept getting this message to surrender, 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 surrender. So I haven't even in these 2 months, I have not been crazily running around trying to find somewhere to live. I have just thought, no, it's going to come together, it's going to come together, it's going to come together. Now, my lease is up on Wednesday, which is 4 days from now. And so the last couple of days I've been going, God, get your shit together. I need to find a place now. Like, for God's sake, can you help me find a place now? I don't care where I live, but can you help me find a place for the cats? And I had, in the last week or so, I've answered about 5 or 6 different ads, but they've all been, no, no, we don't want cats. No, we don't want cats. No, we don't want cats. I went to look at a place today. I made some inquiries about a place last week. All of those weren't suitable. And I even thought about maybe buying a place, but it's not my preference to do that, especially now while the market's so high and it's on its way back down again. So anyway, the point I wanted to make is that a couple of days ago, I saw where a girl had asked for, whether she could find a granny flat to live in. And a lady put a note on it saying, oh, I might have something for you. And so I went, and this was on the Sunshine Coast, I'm on the Gold Coast. Sunshine Coast is about 2 hours from here, north of here. And so today when the place fell apart, the one that I went to this morning and I got home about 1 o'clock from, I just thought, oh shit, I've got 4 days left, God. So I just text some people, and then I went to the one I saw a few days ago and saw that the woman hadn't really interacted with the lady who said, I might have something for you. So I just wrote to her saying, I hope you don't mind me. I saw that you did this. If it's still available, can I put my hand up for it? I've been looking for a long time. I'm quiet, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I meditate lots and lots and lots and blah, blah, blah. And she came back and said yes. And so we start texting, why don't we get on the phone and have a chat? And guess what? After a whole freaking year of looking, not that I was really looking, I stopped looking in August last year. I just realised that, especially when it had been put off 2 or 3 times, I was just like, okay, the fact that it's been put off 2 or 3 times tells me that, I would have just had to, it was just a waste of time moving because it wasn't time to go. And so now, and it's gorgeous. I'd said to God, I want to live in a really nice place. I live in a gorgeous place here, and I can see trees and everything out of every window. But the house itself is old and aggy, like really, really old. This is the original part of the home. Whereas the one I'm going to is like brand new and gorgeous. And it's got a real nice stove in it. And I've had a clanker of an old stove, and, I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited that I found this gorgeous place, again on 4 acres, lots of open spaces. It's got a fire pit in it, which I would just love because I love just sitting out under the stars. It's got a few dams and it's got a swimming pool. Not that I'll probably use the swimming pool, but anyway, I wanted to tell you that that's my miracle today. I will do the God blast that I promised tomorrow, but today, and it's really interesting because even though it's just all about me today, there is such energy pumping through my hands, which of course I'm really excited about because it's a sign that it's the right place that I'm meant to be moving through. They're a lovely couple. Hubby's into Wim Hof and does ice baths, and both of them are into Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I love as well. So kind of on the right path, the same kind of, you know, of the same energy. They have a 7-month-old foster baby, and I mean, I really love people who rescue animals. That's my favourite kind of people. But people who rescue humans are even more my favourite kind of people. So I am really, really looking forward to meeting them. I can move in straight away because it's vacant. Doesn't mean a move up the coast that's 2 hours away instead of a move just across the hill. But it's mostly furnished, so I won't have to take a lot of my stuff and I can just give it away. So yeah, there's been some exciting developments. But what I'm most happy about is that usually I have all of this stuff around when I haven't got somewhere to live. And this time I just kept surrendering and surrendering, come on, and going, come on, girl, get your shit together and find me somewhere beautiful to live. And yeah, just got that little intuitive hit when I saw Kim write on someone else's post, I might have something for you. And then wrote, and that's why I'm late because not all afternoon, but for about 3 or 4 hours, I wrote to all these people. I'd gone, oh, that might be interesting to investigate. That might be interesting to investigate. And yeah, so, and this one's come through. It's affordable. And it's lovely. And it's not, and a lot of granny flats are really dingy, firstly. They're tiny. They're usually dark. They're usually like a part of the house that's underneath the house that they have, you know, blocked in or filled in or whatever, and so therefore they're cool in summer, but they're freezing cold in winter, and they're dark, and they have no outlook because they're really just where a garage that they decided to fill in and call a granny flat and charge ridiculous amounts of money for. Whereas this is a complete separate building. So I live at the moment in a long house, and I'm at in the original house. Then there was a garage, and then they built another 2 or 3 new bedrooms, and that's where my landlord and a hubby live. But they also then built in the garage and made a parents' retreat, whereas the place that I'm going to is a bloody great big long house as well. And the granny flat's at one end, separated by 2 garages, and then there's their home, which is this palatial thing that's really beautiful. But yeah, I feel really, really super blessed to have followed my intuition and just hung in there. I was getting to a point thinking, oh my God. And I'm thinking, Myra must be thinking she's not moving out on time. And I'll be moving out 2 or 3 days late, like next weekend. But it ended up coming together in the end. And I just wanted to share all that with you because it just shows that if we just trust and let go. So this time it hasn't been, I mean, the first 2 months last year, and like in March and April, I was beside myself. I was so stressed. I couldn't sleep because I couldn't find anywhere to live. And then I ended up staying and, again, and then in the last month, in that July, I ran round. Then I just went, no, I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to trust that everything I need will come to me. And I did. And that's really hard to do. Everybody's going, oh, you must be really stressed. I'm going, well, I'm not as stressed as I was last year when I was looking, and this time I've definitely got 3 days to be out, so, and I knew that Myra would extend it for a few days or maybe a week, but I also knew that she wasn't going to extend it for another couple of months because we had already done that, so just breathe for me, please. You're so powerful. And sometimes, I mean, I was looking for something completely different, and I was looking for something here where I am because I really love this suburb, but my time here must be done. And that's why I've always rented, because when you carry as much light as what I do, you put bits of it in where it's needed. And now, in the time I've been here, we have had massive, massive, massive floods. Not that I've been um, in trouble because we live on top of a hill here. And it's the same where I'm going. They're up on top of a nice hill. But the floods have been all around me, down in Mudgebar and in Lismore, and even just down in Coolangatta and Tweed Head and stuff. And sometimes my energy is just in places to stop there being major, major catastrophes. That was certainly the case when I was caught in the fires, those massive, massive fires on the south coast of New South Wales. And I don't think I was really caught in them because I remember asking Source, do you really think it's wise for me to be going into, do you really want me to go into a fire zone? Because the highway was blocked. And they said, yes. I said, well, open the bloody highway because I'm not driving 7 hours to get there. Drove up on the 15th, was only there 2 days and they slammed it shut again for the next 6 weeks, the next amount of time that I was there. So just know, sometimes it's really hard to know this, but everything is perfect, even when it doesn't look that way. So, alrighty, took me a long time to tell you that miracle, sorry. But I am really excited about it. I'm excited because me and my cats won't be homeless. And yeah, and they were okay about me bringing the cats. And I couldn't understand why people were so nutty about it. I said to them they're indoor cats. I said to them that my current landlord would approve that. The bottom line is I couldn't let the cats out because her dogs would have eaten them anyway, but I just wouldn't let them out because Tiger can still meow like a bird. And he's been an indoor cat for 2 years, so caught him the other day out the back, and he can meow differently, like a crow has a different sound into a magpie, and there was magpies out in the backyard, and he was meowing like a magpie at the back door, little bugger. So he's definitely not going to be anything other than a house cat, this cat. So, just breathe for me, please. Okay. So I think we're just going to, I in fact we're going to do an activation because it's almost midnight, like the fifth dimension activation. You can listen and hear that from yesterday's, but it's just a matter of breathing into the sun, bringing it into your body, breathing out into the earth and breathing back up again. But what I'd like to do is just share a few minutes of the fifth dimension energy with you. Make this an obscure miracle. Make it all about the miracle today, because it is all about the miracle. One whole year of trying to find somewhere to live, and then when it came down to it being do or die time, it just shows up, and it is a really exquisite place. If I was able to put some photos on this, I would. Maybe I'll put a post on my Facebook page, but I'll wait till I get there. That won't happen for a week or so anyway. So just breathe for me, please. And just receive. There is this extraordinary, awakening happening on earth. And those people who have done their spiritual work, everything you need and more will be coming to you. I can promise you that. So, okay. Now, instead of spending 8 hours a day meditating, I have to be spending 8 hours a day packing. Not that I have a lot of stuff, but I'm still half packed up from February, March last year, or March, April last year. So there's not lots and lots to do. There's just some to do. So just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and just use this energy. So the terminology should be, how can I find my perfect home to live in? How can I earn, an extra $5,000 a month? How can I find my soulmate? How can I have a fit and healthy, strong and powerful, lean and flexible body? But I'm here to tell you that, hey God, can you get your shit together and find me somewhere to live? Also works. And the reason sometimes people go, oh, how can you be so irreverent? The bottom line is that God is not judgmental. Human beings are, but God is not. And sometimes when you get really cranky with God like that, something just manifests. I remember when I came home today from this house that I looked at, I was so disappointed that that wasn't it. I could just tell it wasn't it. It just didn't feel right. The photos all look lovely. And I have this way of making the photos make it look 10 times bigger than it really is. And I wouldn't have mind paying if it was beautiful, but I wasn't prepared to pay what they were asking when it was just average, really. It was just really average. And so I just came home. I was so sure that was it, and I was so disappointed. And then I was just like, no, I'm not getting in the doldrums. God, get your shit together. And then I just went, what can I do? And then the lady that I'd seen that comment on that post popped in. I did write to 3 or 4 different people, but I'm definitely going north now. It's much quieter and less busy than here as well, so that'll be nice. Seems to be an ache in my soul for more peace, more quiet, more stillness. Oh, goodness. My apologies, big day, yawning now. Right, so just a little bit more fifth dimensional energy. Just breathe it into any area of your life and know that there is infinite possibilities and miracles can happen in a split second. And you just have to ask for one, command it to come in, and just know without a shadow of doubt it's going to happen. And I could feel my landlord, because we just live in one great big long house. She's down the other end. I could feel her thinking, she's not freaking doing anything. She's not going to move out. But I knew something would happen. So my lease is actually up on Wednesday. Oh, God. Nothing like taking it down to the wire. Let's breathe. Alrighty, gorgeous beings of light. That's us done for another day. Sending you so much love.